getting into the deer hunting thing and the successes you've had deer hunting, what would you say are some of the keys to your success?
I'd say first, you gotta find a big deer.
How do you go about finding a big deer?
That's first and foremost.
Right, yeah. So let's dig into that then. What are your strategies for finding them in the first place? You know, what's your scouting routine? And, you know, I assume you use cameras. I've seen you having that on the front porch.
Oh yeah, there's cameras everywhere.
And so kind of describe me, what's your process for finding them?
I use any means available. I've got a few properties, and I monitor them. I run cameras. I watch the deer. I never leave any stone unturned either. I'll hang out at Fast Break for a little while to hear the farmers talk up there. They say, I saw a big deer. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm, you know, Bob's best shot or something. You hear somebody say something about a big deer in their backyard. I know a lot of people around here. I'll follow every clue that there is. So I have friends that duck hunt. They don't care about deer,
right? Yeah.
And I call them my scouts, and they'll call me and they'll tell me, hey, I saw a big deer over here. Better get over there. I'll knock on doors. I don't lease anything. You know, I bring a case of beer to the guy, or some deer, or some salami, or whatever.
Right.
I'm old school. But my biggest tool though at everything is cameras. I run cameras starting about July 1st because by then they've got enough a rack established that I can get a feel for if that deer is going to be something that I might want to pursue. Or
so digging into the cameras a little bit, how do you decide on a camera location other than setting up your own spot?
I stick to mostly with cameras field edges. They're easily accessible. You're not intruding too much. And a lot of times deer are lazy too. They want the path of least resistance, and they're going to walk the field edges.
Yeah.
So coves for big bucks, you know, field coves that are hidden. Those are nice. They like seclusion. I don't mind going through camera or pictures and having a bunch of sunsets and sunrises. And they say just try to point it to the north and keep the sun out of it. I sort through them. I don't care.
Right.
If it's on the right little tree, it's on the right little tree as far as I'm concerned.
How many cameras do you put out?
I have 11 cameras.
Okay.
And I've got a couple junkers too that I don't put those out as much, but I run 11. And back in the day, I mean, you know, some of that stuff, you know, it costs money. I was fortunate enough to win 6, but with a photo contest.
Oh, slick.
But I'd have like 4 or 5, and you know, I'd run them for 2 weeks at one property and get what I get, and then I would rotate them to another, and then I would rotate them to another. I'd keep track of this, and then when I'd start finding stuff that I liked, you know, then I'd concentrate on those areas, and I would know what deer are where and everything, and you know, keep an inventory and know everything.
All right. Do you set them and then just leave them out for, you know, you said you started probably in July. Do you leave them out all summer, or do you move them around? Are they, you know, dynamic sites, or you know, if it's a site you keep coming back to, you've probably narrowed down, you know, where the
if there's something I want to keep an eye on, I'll leave a camera there.
Sure.
And then I'll move some to another spot.
So other than, you know, sun issues and you know, wind issues, moving stuff in front, do you have any sort of strategy other than just trying to be on a you know, funnel or a pretty clear travel corridor for setting cameras? You know, is there a certain height you set them? Guys, they talk about setting them up high and looking down.
I always try to do about waist high, and I stand back and eyeball it, make sure it looks good. I always carry a backpack with supplies, machete to knock down all the weeds, little pruners to trim back little branches, and just little stuff that you know, is convenient to have. It's my little outdoor tool set, you know, in a way. Nobody wants to get a foxtail 5,000 pictures of a foxtail blowing back and forth. So
Right, yeah.
every time I check, I sit there with the machete and I would whack all the stuff down and I look at everything and go from there. It's just little things that I've figured out over the years.
Right. Yep. And that's exactly the type of little things that I'm trying to find here today. So, do you have a one of those card readers you use in the field, or do you pop the cards out and just bring them home?
It could get a little expensive, but what I do is I have my cameras and I have them labeled. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, all the way up to 11. And then I have, when they take a picture, they say camera 1, camera 2, all the way up to 11. And then I have 2 SD cards for every camera. And then I just walk up and pop it out and on my way.
Yep.
Or drive up, whatever's easiest, and then I just look at it on my phone.
Yeah.
When I was hunting my biggest deer, I mean, I locked down. Something that I did that I thought was key into helping me figure him out and kill him was I took every picture I ever got of him and I would write that picture, or I would have that picture and I would log what the wind direction was every picture, for every picture, so I knew where he was coming from, what he was doing. He was always walking head into the wind. A great resource to do that is undergroundweather.com. That will give you wind directions every hour on the hour, and it shows barometric pressures, it shows everything for past stuff. I mean, it took me a little while to find it, but you lose a lot of that information, and a lot of people don't think about that information. They think, oh, I got a timestamp, and he was here, he was walking this way. Yeah, but what was the wind direction that time, at that time, and all that? So I correlated a lot of that with figuring him out. That's a little tidbit of information that is kind of a little bit of a secret. Something else that I do too is know your local GISs. Know those. That way you can find out where exactly land properties are. Nobody wants to get the red ass. Be on the right property. And if you see something, a big deer or whatever, like, oh, I don't know who owns that. You can get on these sites and you can figure it out in the drop of a hat within 5 minutes if you know what you're doing.
Yep.
And you know where to look.
Yeah. Land ownership's all public record.
Yep. And then then you can see pinch points. You can pull that stuff up. You can get on pictometry, and you can look at all that. I mean, I'm constantly digging.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
So you spend a lot of time with aerial photos.
I'll look at aerial photos a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.